What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of 3B, the Belt Baseball Boys. And guess what, everybody? We got three guys on the screen for you tonight, or in your ear if you're listening to the audio version. We appreciate you joining us with you from the first kick to the last pitch, and that's what we're getting closer to every day. Thank you to ArtyCat for joining us, and we know Texas State is going to bow out of this conference as of July 1st, I guess. Is that when it's officially official?
I think it's July 6th, but close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what the billboard they have posted all around town, like a big deal for some reason. But yeah.
But y'all get to spend the 4th of July with us. That's awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, thanks for having me back on. Like you said, it's bittersweet. I wish we were staying, honestly, in the conference, especially with just all the fantastic gains it's made. Especially in football and then baseball, especially. But, I can't control that. So it is what it is. But I'll always be a Sun Belt fan. I'll probably be, honestly, I was either down to App State or Arkansas State. I love both those schools, but I'm not going to try to just jump on the App State bandwagon. So I'll probably try to pull for Arkansas State. They're kind of like our closest neighbor.
I got a sweatshirt for you if you need it.
Man. Yeah. But you guys won't get rid of me that easy. I'll be always a Sun Belt fan here. Hopefully, nice. It'll be bigger and better things. My hope is that they expand here. I think they need to do that here within the next couple of years. Just get ready for this big 2030 shift or whenever that's coming up.
Yeah,
that's going to be the big sea change in college sports, and we'll just see where that goes. Hopefully, Commissioner Gill came out like gangbusters. In the beginning, I was just super stoked with all the acquisitions he made and. Bringing in Southern Miss and ODU and JMU and Marshall, just great. Then it's kind of cooled off a little bit. My hope is they start doing a little more promotion for the Sun Belt because our baseball is just outstanding. And just you need to get that word out.
I think that's the good thing. Like right now, this show, honestly, baseball is bigger than basketball in this conference, and that's fine. Yeah. We're going to go with what the big issue or not issue. The big brand is doing, and that's Southern Miss, Louisiana, Texas State's been up there. They've been a team that's made postseason baseball, Coastal Carolina, as we all know. And so, we've seen other teams put more money and effort into their baseball programs now, which, again, goes back to our argument that we continue to have, even with some of the other publications out there, that Sun Belt is not a mid-major baseball conference. Do we have some teams that kind of fit the bill? Sure. And if you're going to talk basketball and football, we'll agree with you. But baseball, we do feel differently about. But Marv, speaking of baseball, give us another little update. You had some games last night. How are the kids doing? They're hitting hot. What kind of streak are we on right now?
So my youngest, so I had Mason played last night, struck out 11, pitched a great game. Really proud of him. And then they both had games tonight. Mason went 2 for 2. His team walked it off in the bottom of the 5th, which is great. And my youngest son Logan hit his third little league home run tonight. How's that? It was not over, but he hit the crap out of the ball. But kids can't catch and can't field, so he gets to touch all the bases and
he's making good contact, and that's good.
No, he hits hard, but he crosses home plate, and it's like you won the World Series. That's really
that age you did, man. It's the greatest feeling.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. And I didn't realize you had games tonight. I thought you had games last night. You had games both nights?
Yeah, so just Mason last night, and then they both had games tonight at 6 o'clock. So I coached Logan's team. I'm the head coach on that team, the assistant on Mason. So Brandy went with Mason. I went with Logan, divide and conquer, and come home, eat real quick, throw them in the shower, and get them to bed.
Nice. I got to tell you, I think I mentioned that I had the big arch from McDonald's a few times after hockey practice before this show would happen or something. And I'm disappointed, man. It's already sold out at one of these local ones. And I had to settle for a quarter pounder. No free ads on this show, and it was awful. I was like, I need that big arch back. You need to stop making this a limited edition, limited time offering and bring this only quality burger that you've had all time. Bring this thing back. After
you talked like that about them, we're definitely not getting sponsored.
Hey, their CEO did the only bad promotion that they could have had. He took the tiniest bite and acted like it was so good, and you're like, I don't think he likes it.
Didn't Burger King make a follow-up commercial of that was way better?
Yeah, they definitely
they always do.
Yeah.
Although
I will say,
food chains aren't too good. I mean, we had Whataburger here. They're probably like the best you're gonna get for like we have a Sonic, and I don't know, the burger's kind of gone downhill over the years. But that's just everything. They're saving money here and there and scrimping, and I don't know. It's just not the same burger I had back in the day.
yeah,
Really
no, that's true.
changed.
Yeah, and we got some comments coming in. I'm gonna get to these. It tasted good. I've had it twice. Yeah, I was going for my fourth tonight. I won't lie. I had a counter going. So I was like, man, this thing's pretty good. I'm gonna keep getting it till it's gone. And apparently, it may be gone. So thanks for nothing, McDonald's. We will not be reaching out for you to sponsor us.
Yeah, I'm not loving it.
Yeah, there you go. Wash it down with a dirty Mountain Dew, he says. Yeah, you could do that. He enjoyed that. Me, not so much. All right, let's get into why we're all here for the first time. Besides Marv's kids' updates for baseball.
Yeah, Texas tears. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah. Yep. Artie, we have to say goodbye the only way we know how, which is to poke a little fun, right? I mean, you're a military guy. This is how you show love, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did not see that coming, but it hurts, man. What can you say? That hurt. At least the last game was fairly competitive, but not by much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's so funny is you look at overall stats. I mean, Coastal's not bad, but as far as batting, they're at number 10 in the conference. Number 4 in pitching, but man, that really stung. I thought we could do a little bit better.
Well, and let's go right from that to the picks, because you were our guest picker this week. We all struggled, honestly. And I had to make a correction. So anyone who
I thought I had 3.
You had 3 because of a scoring error. You picked Southern Miss to win the series 2-1, but they swept, so you actually did not get it correct in that sense.
And
so I scraped by and I won, I think, my first series or my first weekly picks of the year. So I'm going to keep
that breaks my heart.
Look at that first week with everybody. I mean, Dominic standing out there.
Yeah.
with the Georgia Coastal game.
Yeah. So, we saw Georgia State coming in, actually the hotter team than Coastal Carolina was, into that matchup. I thought, man, they're going to take one, right? And after the first 2 games, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to lose that one. And all 3 of you picked Coastal sweep. It is what it is. But they pulled it out.
This time of year, I really don't expect anybody to get swept. But this is Coastal, and that's Georgia. So I had to pick Coastal for that, but I did not. Yeah, but it is. I mean, they did win the series, but still, and lost. Like we just said it off air here. They did lose tonight. So you can't go on all the time, but just as an unexpected pick because they just been playing pretty well lately.
Yeah, absolutely. We all got the App Series correct as far as who would win it. But you 3 went with 2-1 in favor of App. I chose the sweep. I just thought App was playing good. JMU has not been playing good. I'll take a chance here. Paid off. Yeah. So there's 2 for me, none for anybody else. And then we had the Georgia Southern ODU matchup, which, like Artie said, we're talking like hard to sweep anybody. And, of course, there's another one. But this time it favors ODU. So, Marv, you went 2-1 ODU. Felt like they were going to win it. Did you think about going sweep there?
No. Like I already said, like at this point in the season, sweeps are hard to get. I thought the only one, obviously, about my picks that would get a sweep was Coastal. I mean, they were playing at home. Conway's a hard place to win, especially for Georgia State coming in. But I thought Coastal would get 1. Obviously, that's why I picked it that way. And I didn't even consider it a sweep, to be honest.
Nice. Artie, did you pick or did you consider a sweep there with ODU? Georgia? I mean, Georgia Southern's at the bottom.
No. The only people I expected to sweep on anybody would be Coastal at this time of year. If you're a competitive baseball program, and everybody pretty much is at this point, you shouldn't be getting at least 2-1 is what I expect in the series to be successful at this point. You shouldn't be getting swept. But getting this many in one weekend was surprising, and especially from ODU. But because they're kind of, not identical teams, but they're kind of, the bottom of the conference here. They're kind of hard to pick, but I didn't just not expect ODU to sweep them.
Yeah. So let's stay with you, Artie. Your team, Texas State, coming in, looking pretty good into the weekend. We had 3 people, including you, myself, and Seth, to pick your Bobcats to beat Southern Miss in the series, but we now know that was not the case. So start us off with your thoughts on your Bobcats over the weekend.
Well, it's disappointing. I mean, you can't lie about that. 2-1. I mean, what's crazy is we have one guy hitting .533 and 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 7 players hitting way above 300. And the bats just went silent there. It's a hard place to play too. Yep. So their loss, but what's really worrying for me is, they got Incarnate Word tonight, which I don't know. We'll see. They just started in-state rival right down the road from us. Then we have to go to Coastal and play in Conway coming up. So they have to come out of there with no less. Honestly, in my opinion, you got to win that series. You at least got to get 2 games out of that. And then after that, South Alabama's coming to town, which they're having a pretty good year. So you can't overlook those guys. They're sitting at number 3 right now in the conference. So, the loss really hurts, but you're going to have to pick this up quickly here.
Yeah, that's tough having to go to the Pete and Conway in back-to-back weekends. That's murderous throw, man.
Yeah. Marv, let's stick with you here. The next line, you were the only one that went this way and had A-State beating ULM. A lot of people started siding with the Warhawks a little more heavy. Why'd you go A-State here?
ULM lost the previous series to App. I think Arkansas State's a good baseball team, and no offense to ULM fans, not like the most intimidating place to play on the road, right? Gut feeling, lucky sometimes.
Yeah. All right, we'll stick with it. You took Troy to take down the Cajuns. That was kind of a chance there. I went with you, so we both won that one. Artie and Seth went the other way. That was it was a even match, right? 2 people chose the Cajuns, 2 people chose Troy. Artie, why'd you pick the Cajuns in that one?
I just thought they were honestly due for a rebound. Honestly, they're just having a down year. They're having what Texas State had to happen to them last year is happening to them this year. It's just a down year for Lafayette. That's all. I mean, we'll see what they can shake out. It's going to be kind of hard for them to get out of this mess. I think they're sitting at number 12 in the conference, so they're going to have to really step it up too. But I just thought they were due, and I thought they were a slightly better team than Troy. But something's a little off there in Lafayette right now. Something in the water, and like I said, they're just kind of having what Texas State happened to them last year is happening to them this year.
That makes sense. That's a good way to put it, because they are the kind of shocking team that
this year that they were in the mix again this year, coming out, preseason, like they're going to be in the top 4 or 5 teams in the mix to win the conference, and just been a really down year for them.
They were 15-6 coming into conference, if I'm not mistaken. They got ranked 25th at one point.
Yeah, they just fell out. They just fell off pretty quick.
Yeah, they have not played good baseball in conference. If the season were to end today, they would not make the tournament.
No, that's crazy. We'll jump over to the standings here in a minute. Well, I don't know if we'll do a full array of power rankings, because again, they're kind of washed after this weekend. But last one, Artie. You took South Al, and they took care of Marshall. Everybody else trusted Marshall a little bit. So
why did pick South Al? Because they're on a pretty good rolling streak right now, playing really good baseball, sitting at number 3, just playing really well. And I just honestly just picked them up because Marshall's like mid-tier so far in the conference, not horrible, but they're sitting at number 9. Yeah, I just honestly just kind of figured stat-wise South Alabama would take it. And that's kind of figured what had happened. Most of these games would be a 2-1, most of them would be, and they mostly are, just didn't pick the right ones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. A lot of them did go 2-1. We just picked the wrong direction on some of these.
Yeah, the wrong directions, and that's what's great about the Sun Belt. And this year's been great. Like South Alabama's really stepped up. App State's having a great year, and Troy.
Troy's really righted the ship since they got in the conference play. They were not playing great ball, but they're playing pretty good ball right now.
Yeah, that's what makes the Sun Belt great. Just it's big competitive up and down.
Yep. Marv, any thoughts on your Marshall pick over South Al?
I'm a Bryce Bevins fan. That's what got me, honestly. I figured they'd win Friday night. He's been, in my opinion, top 3 starter in the league for, 2 straight seasons now. They were playing pretty good ball. I didn't think South Alabama was playing that great coming in. I thought Marshall could take it. But, favor the home team. Lesson learned, right? If it's too also favor
that home field advantage always helps.
Yeah, it does.
You have to travel and, take the bus and fly and all that stuff.
I'm also a Nate Wood fan. I'm going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. That's true. We all are. All right. So jumping over to the power rankings, as we know, these are kind of not great. Yeah, these are not great to look at after the weekend play because everyone thinks that that's taken into account. It's not. These come out on a Friday. But I do think that everyone still agree Coastal is the top of this conference as it sits today. And Southern Miss is second as it sits today. After that, you're going to see some changes, but I don't think we're going to see a lot of drastic. I think after that, we're pretty good with this. I mean, you could mix up a couple teams because they're all 1, 2, 3 games away from each other at most, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can literally reshuffle 3 through 6 any way that you want, and I don't think anybody could argue with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Chad Dickens chiming in saying, "What's up, my guys? What bourbon are we drinking?" And I'm not doing the bourbon tonight. I pulled an all-nighter watching my Hurricanes last night till about midnight, so we're gonna take it easy tonight. Got a little water going on.
A little bourbon puts you to sleep, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. If I need it, it could help. That is a good point. What if Chad? If you're drinking a little something, shout it out, man. We'll no free ads, but we'll let you shout out your favorite bourbon tonight. Artie, you're not sipping on anything, are you?
Just Pepsi.
Okay, there you go.
Pure cane sugar.
Oh, nice. You got the old school recipe, right?
Yeah, the old school. Yeah, I like that a little better.
Nice. I'd rather do that than the zero sugar stuff. I think that has a weird aftertaste, so I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even Diet Coke has a weird aftertaste to me. I don't like it.
Oh yeah. No diet. I'll take the sugar, and I'm good with pure
I'll run it off.
sugar.
I'll work it out.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. We'll run it off. Marvel have his kids doing wind sprints to work off all the sugar. Any news? I mean, like Marv, you're not going to see anything drastic here, right? I mean, maybe a little shuffling.
I think you see Troy move over. Like I said, you can reshuffle 3 through 6 any way you want. I mean, you got South Alabama, App State, and Troy all tied for 3rd, right? So Troy's got to come over. Texas State probably falls from 3rd just because of the sweep. But there's no wholesale changes coming to this.
No,
9 through 14, about right on.
Yeah, not bad off there. So let's look now at the standings because, like I said, this is what's helping shape the power. As we've gotten further into the year with the power rankings, it's starting to match closer to the standings. Early in the season, we had some real big discrepancies. You got, some people played a really powerful out-of-conference schedule. Some people played a weaker one. And so even if the records were not too equal, sometimes people were saying, well, look at these guys. I mean, at one point in the season, someone commented on our power rankings and said, you're not giving JMU enough credit. I'm sorry. 6-12 and 16-22 overall. You're going to be at the bottom just like you are in the standings. So not going to get a ton of credit from that. Is there – I mean, I guess it's got to be the Cajuns. Are the Cajuns the shocking team about, like, why are they not higher? Is that, like –
I think this year they are. I mean, they just had just where they are historically in the conference and what's always expected out of them. Let's be Coastal, Southern Miss, the Cajuns, and sometimes you can put Texas. They're expected to come out and have teams, and for them, like I said, it's just what's happened. I keep saying it, but they're just having what's happened to Texas State last year is happening to them this year. Something's just they're not hitting, or something's not happening. And I was trying to check they're last in batting percentage in the conference. So if you're not making contact and getting on base, then it's going to be hard to win games.
Yep, good point.
Especially in the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, it is. Chad chiming in saying tonight he's sipping on a 7-year Yellowstone, and he says Semper Fi, ArtyCat.
Semper Fi. Thank you.
Pretty good something to sip on. 7 years. I just saw Instagram post from one of the bourbon guys that I follow. I think it was Eagle Rare. think that's who's. I could be wrong on the brand. Someone's coming out with a 30-year or something like that. It's $12,500. Yeah, pass.
I'm good.
Nope, not touching that. Even if I could afford it and had that money, I don't think I'd spend it on bourbon that was that expensive. So there's plenty of good stuff out there that doesn't touch that number. Marv, is there anything from the standings you want to touch on? Anybody good, anybody bad, anybody in the middle you think maybe comes alive here down the stretch or something?
No, I mean, obviously you touched on it. Like, if you were to say before the season started that with 3 weeks left, the Cajuns would be in danger of not making the tournament, I think that would be the shocker, right? No, I mean, I don't really see anything. I honestly thought that Troy would be a little bit higher than what they were. Once again, they're kind of playing good ball once they got to conference. But no, outside of those two, nothing super crazy.
I think you'll see a pretty good race, though, like between, let's see, Georgia Southern all the way up to maybe Arkansas State, to see who makes the tournament there. Especially between like ODU and Georgia and Marshall.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're all pretty close in the standings, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of steps it up to the end of the season here to get in the tournament. Because there's going to be someone who's going to be very, if they kind of evenly matched like they are now, it's going to be someone who just barely misses it out. Again, but we'll see.
Yep. Chad is fact checking us there. It's a 30-year Eagle Rare from Buffalo Trace. So it's Buffalo Trace. Eagle Rare is
a brand, Buffalo Trace.
There you go.
Massive distiller. They make tons of different brands.
Yeah. Apparently they were acquired by somebody, or they paid a lot of money to acquire somebody else. And so they're like, yeah, you knew the prices were going up whenever they did that. I don't know the background information. I'm sure Chad does. But yeah, expensive stuff. So
you could start a cheesy company like Fireball. It's not even real whiskey.
There you go. Yeah. Just stuff. Yeah. Even the rapper Yellow Wolf had something come out called Creek Water. It was not good, but if you're mixing it with something, fantastic. No,
maybe a rapper back in the day was coming out with some kind of like liquor or sponsored by somebody, or all these weird brands.
Oh yeah,
They're all made by the same 5 Canadian liquor makers in Canada, and they just put different labels on it. Really, that's all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely just all throwing it around.
Yeah.
Do not blaspheme Fireball.
Yeah. There's a drink of choice.
Oh, man.
Everyone has that one story.
Oh, yeah.
Never a good story about drinking Fireball.
Yeah. Now they got like a new flavor. I saw like an ad for it, a candy apple or something like that. Like, oh boy.
Pass.
I can taste it in the back of my throat right now.
Yeah. A Jolly Rancher going down.
It seems like the drink of choice on a golf course. Am I not mistaken? Is that kind of where people take it a lot?
Probably when they're playing. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, just on the snapshot from the week, again, Southern Miss, App State, ODU with sweeps. The teams that got swept, James Madison, sorry, Artie, Texas State, and Georgia Southern. Now, 2 of those were not surprising at all. JMU. Yeah, well, the sweeps a little bit surprising, but the teams getting swept. Though I'd say the only one that was surprised was a Texas State sweep. JMU and Georgia Southern, not ultimately too shocking. But let's jump into rewinding the week here. Just look at some of the games from this past week. Well. What happened there, but I think I double hit the button. So there we go. Back to Tuesday, we had a number of ranked teams that our teams were playing. Georgia Southern actually stood a chance to take down number 2 in the country, Georgia Tech, but ultimately fell 9-13 in that one. Ole Miss got some revenge on Southern Miss, 10-3. Those 2 ranked teams. I think, is Ole Miss still in the rankings now? I don't have it in front of me, but
I'll double check. You never know. Playing in the SEC, they're going to get a ranked team every single weekend. Yeah. So you win a series, you go up. You lose a series, you go down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point in that one. Artie, Texas State got by Houston Christian 4-3.
Yeah, it was a close game. Close game. But they always have a pretty competitive baseball team, Houston Christian. They always really kind of under the radar teams. Don't hear, they're in like a lower conference. I can't remember what conference they're in, but they always have a pretty good team. We play them like once a year, I think. They're always pretty good.
It looks like Ole Miss, if I had to guess, looks like they beat Arkansas over the weekend. They shot up to number 17.
Oh, okay. Well,
who did App State play there? I'm sorry about that.
Western Carolina. That's a bitter subject because that is an old Southern Conference rival.
Just gonna say that's a pretty cool logo, though.
Yeah, the Catamount. Man, Western Carolina's drummed us twice this year for whatever reason. Western Carolina has our number in baseball.
I couldn't even tell you what that guy Troy opponent is. Is that the New Orleans team?
Yeah, okay. New Orleans.
Looks like the Gordon's Fisherman logo or something, kind of. Go back to the drawing board on that one, guys.
It looks like a logo from Pirates of the Caribbean to me.
Yeah, I don't get what the coming off on the side there. It's supposed to be his collar or something. I don't know.
That's a good point. It looks like tusk actually.
Yeah, there's like little horns or something coming off.
But yeah, we had A-State get the win. Wake Forest got revenge against Coastal Carolina 10-5. That one was in Winston-Salem for the first time. Georgia State got a win over West Georgia. Not a whole lot of other big surprises in that one, but not a great day last Tuesday. And then we rebounded. We had a pretty good Wednesday. ODU gets by a Richmond team who's not too bad, 9-10. And then Marshall beats up Ohio State 11-7. So that was great to see.
Yeah.
Only 2 games, but definitely a better win-loss record than Tuesday night when we kind of I think we had a losing record overall on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't know. Marv, are you surprised here that Marshall, not near the top of the conference necessarily, but they do have skill and they do have talent, and they went on the road to play Ohio State in Ohio and got the victory 11-7.
No, I mean, listen, Ohio State's not known as a baseball program. We all know those Midwest programs and Northeast programs historically are not phenomenal. So, no, not a surprise.
Yeah. I think, once again, it goes to the fact of, where this conference is, right? Everyone's going to look at this from an outside perspective.
That shouldn't be a surprise, really.
Exactly, yeah. The people that don't follow baseball, don't realize the significance of the Sun Belt are going to look at this and say, wow, Ohio State lost to Marshall. But we're saying, really not that surprising, right? I knew it was going to be competitive. I knew they could lose, right? We know teams can lose on any given night. How much are they putting into the midweek? What are they saving for the weekend? So you never necessarily know. But no, ultimately not shocking that Marshall gets the victory over Ohio State there. So that was a good one to see. Again, a good Wednesday.
Always looks good for the novice, though. Always looks good for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always looks good for us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. We know that some of the scores, we'll look at them real quick. We won't cover every single one of them. But, Southern Miss 8-2 already on that first game on Friday. Did you feel like that was just all right, Friday we dropped, now we rebound? Or was that the first time?
I thought it was going to be because we've come out, played a bad game in the beginning, come back and won 2-1s a couple times this year. I thought, we traveled, bad first game. We'll shake it off. They just didn't get the bats going, this weekend. So, and that's not, and you got to against a ranked number 18 in the country. You got to get on base and you got to hit. Yeah. So,
Marv, you are a Blevins fan for good reason. 6-2 in that game against South Alabama. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything specific to note or just talk about his performance, because I know you reached out to us and let us know how he was doing Friday night.
Yeah, complete game, 7 strikeouts. I think he only gave up 4 or 5 hits. Just, man, he's the Friday night guy for a reason. He's get the series off to a good start. And other than that, nothing really surprising. Maybe App State beating JMU 10-0, holding them scoreless. You expect the Cajuns and Troy to play a close game. You expected Arkansas State and ULM to play a close game. Nothing super surprising on Friday night.
Yeah, I'll throw out, like you said, 10-0 for App State. Bryce Blevins, the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week last week. Our guy, Nick Dorito, probably one of the best last names in all of college baseball. Not spelled like the chip, but pronounced the same way. Had 8 innings pitched with 8 strikeouts. He is the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Week this week. So he got that start with that 10-0 victory over James Madison.
That's an NIL deal right there. That's what
Yeah.
that's an NIL deal.
I know, right? Yeah, we saw Lunch get the deal over at Louisiana with Lunchables, which was genius, and he said that was his dream NIL deal. Let's see Nick Dorito get the same treatment. That would be pretty.
Remember, everybody gets one of the little bags.
The old App State quarterback Ryan Burger, who the Cardinal made the Ryan Burger, which was very cleverly crafted.
Yeah, and then he wasn't the starter after week 1. But that's here or there. All right, so getting into Saturday's games, we had a couple teams go down 2-0 or up 2-0 if you want to look at it that way. So we had an opportunity for 4 teams to sweep over the weekend. We know now only 3 teams did so with Georgia Southern. That was
Georgia State got the last
Georgia
one.
State. Yep. But was there any big news or notes on the weekend? Was the Troy? No, that was not, because they lost that game. I was going to say, was the Troy walk-off victory Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember now. It's going to be Sunday because they lost to the Cajuns on Saturday, 7-6.
But look at that. So the Cajuns Troy game, they flip-flop scores from Friday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And so did ULM and Arkansas State.
Yep. Well,
I'll be honest, I missed that game, but I came home and I knew they lost because Texas State Athletics never posts highlights when they lose. So I figured they had lost the game.
I was gonna say I noticed that, and I was like,
they never do. I don't know why because there's still highlights in the game you lose. I don't know why they. Yeah. That's how you can always. You miss a game, you just click on YouTube, but they haven't uploaded it. They lost.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's easy to know at that point, but disappointing for someone who just wants to check in and see what went down. But
because you still have highlights when you lose. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, the last game here, we were competitive at least. We, kept it within one run this time, but just not enough when you're playing the 22 ranked team in the country.
Yeah, a little rough there, but again, it was a competitive 5-4 victory for Southern Miss, and a very close loss there for Texas State. So not far away. Also, like I said, that Cajuns Troy game,
that's the biggest game I think right there.
Yeah, 15-11 in favor of the Trojans. Marv, you said, remind me, did you pick this one correctly? I think you did. Right?
You have to go back and check. I don't remember. Maybe I am drinking bourbon. Just
like Marv said, the Trojans have really righted the ship at the right time in conference play.
Yeah, they really have.
And how to do it, and then they've really kept at it.
How about App State putting up 41 over the weekend? I was telling you guys before the show aired, over 50 hits on the weekend. Now, they won tonight in a 3-1 game. The bats cooled off a little bit, only 5 hits tonight. But, man, just I
guess you can't throw in I picked it, this week before, but I guess you can't throw in the Georgia beating Coastal there, Georgia State. A little bit of an, 11-5. But like I said, it's hard to sweep. It's hard to sweep in this conference. Even the worst team in the conference is pretty darn good. So you can lose any game in this conference at any time.
Yeah. Georgia Southern, like we said, we saw them beat Clemson. Now Clemson isn't what they've been, but they could jump up and surprise somebody, and you never know when it could happen. But credit to ODU again, like you said, it's not easy to do it, and they got it done in a little bit closer games than what JMU and App State saw. Although that last one was 14-10, so that one actually got a little close. It was just high scoring on both sides. That looks like a low scoring football game. 14-10.
Yeah. Was that at ODU?
At the one for ODU was at ODU. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then App State played at James Madison in Harrisonburg.
There's people kind of make, but their home field advantage helps, especially in the conference when you're traveling. You don't have to travel a couple days, and someone comes to you. You can get off to a hot start. You can make a big difference.
Yep. Sleep in your own bed at night. Eat your own food. And
be in your own environment. So does your own ballpark. Hopefully a good crowd.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. All right, so looking at the slate that is live right now, so we don't have live scores as far as graphics are concerned, but we can update you. East Carolina dominating Old Dominion 18-7 right now. That's not great. Tulane Southern Miss locked in a tight one, a 1-run game in the bottom of the 7th. A-State up on Central Arkansas 19-6. So that's a good-looking game there.
They busted that open, huh? Because it was 7-6 not too long ago.
Exactly. Yeah, and to credit A-State, Central Arkansas is no slouch. I mean, 22-18 isn't amazing, but it's hard to be having a winning record as we've seen at this point of the season.
And it's an in-state rival game between those two, so you got to take that into account.
Yeah, they always seem to play each other tough, even in football to start the year.
Yeah, every sport they play each other tough.
And then same thing here with this one, Artie. Jacksonville State versus Troy. That's like a crosstown type of thing there, not far from each other at all. And to note, Jacksonville State, Conference USA,
teams this year,
33-8.
Jacksonville State's 33-8.
Yeah,
Jacksonville State.
I forgot who they beat earlier in the Sun Belt this year. They might have been ULM or somebody, but I think they took them 2-1.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that might be a team that you're looking at getting ranked here somewhat shortly. There's not a whole lot of teams.
They might be the Conference USA champion and right into the tournament there.
Yeah, that's very true. And we're only top 6, so Troy still has a chance to beat them as well, which would be a great victory for them. But Jacksonville State currently with 8 hits, Troy just 2, so they need to get those bats moving if they want that one to go down. Louisiana up on Grambling 10-3. UL Monroe still holding out on Northwestern State 2-1. That one kind of similar to that A-State Central Arkansas game there with 2 teams close in record and both with winning records. So tough one there. And unless you guys have a different update, I've got Incarnate Word and Texas State still locked at 1 in the bottom of the 5th.
I'll verify that. But I think the biggest news of the night is Coastal Carolina loses to UNCW. A little bit of a shocker. Especially a Tuesday night game to usually when you're not always a lower class opponent, but for Coastal it certainly is. Let's just be honest. And, especially coming off a sweep, sweeping a good Texas State team, and that happens to you. But not Texas State, but coming off a big weekend.
Yeah, because they had that one. They did lose that. This is actually their second straight loss now because they did lose to Georgia State in the last one.
Yeah.
But again, UNCW no slouch either, 22-18 in CAA play, and I think they did play Coastal close earlier this season, if not outright beat them. And I'm missing some.
Too sure on Tulane this year how good they are.
Yeah, Tulane is sitting at 21-20, so they're about average there, especially in the American Conference. Dominic Ambrose stopping by to say, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Dominic? Appreciate the comment." And look who it is. Ben James makes his appearance on the show tonight. A-State is whipping. Yeah, he's covering the game that we already talked about now. Here's a new update. 19-7 in favor of A-State now.
16 runs in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, they're gonna enjoy that victory. Like I said, it's a good little rivalry there they got going.
Yeah. So Marv,
that's heading to a 7-inning stop for the run rule.
Yeah,
that might be.
Run rule, if you keep that up.
Marv, you were talking about the App State ETSU game earlier. Give us a little rundown on that one that you saw earlier.
3-1. Both teams had 5 hits, so it's like a pretty good pitcher. So ETSU is a good baseball team. Sneaky good. Always, them and App always play a really good series against each other every year. But that's a big win for App coming off of a sweep, and now they got Georgia Southern. I know I'm jumping ahead, but they got the worst team in the conference coming to Boone. They're tied for 3rd. It's a massive, massive, massive opportunity for App.
Yeah, this is a big 2 weeks for almost every team coming up. You look at the schedules.
Yes.
These are some like Texas State, App State. You really need to pick these games up.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
And it's going to be difficult for like Texas State, but for App State, that's a pretty good road laid out in front of you. You just need to take advantage of it. Don't squander it.
Exactly. ETSU, like you said, Marv, 25-13 in the SoCon. I believe Wofford is the best team in the SoCon, and they're really good. So ETSU probably close on their heels with that record, what it is now. Ben James saying it was about 30 to 40 minutes between the first and second out in the bottom of the 4th. That's insane. Oh, thanks for that update, Ben. That's good stuff there, man. James Madison falls 7-4 to George Mason. So 19-9 team overall. JMU continues to struggle there. So that's kind of your Tuesday look, your live Tuesday look if you're with us right now. And if you're listening to this later, you're probably going to know some of those scores because we're going to have them in a graphic for you as early as tomorrow morning. But we do have a small slate yet again on Wednesday. Morehead State is going to play Marshall. Do you remember the craziness that was this game from last year, fellas?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
No, I do not.
Was it like 24-21 or some crazy? And then we looked at the field about what Morehead State looks like, and it's like one section of the outfield is like super close. Just like launching ball after ball.
It's a super small field. I think if I remember right, you were right about. They're just like hitting home runs left and right.
Yeah, I feel like
playing on a little league field.
What was the worst park than Georgia State? If that's possible.
Yeah, it probably is. I know that it's not Morehead State is not known for their baseball, and Marshall hopefully can put up a lot of runs. They put up 11 at Ohio State last week, so let's see what they can do at home.
I like Marshall in this one.
Yeah, definitely Marshall in this one. The Citadel, pretty good baseball team. They take on Georgia Southern tomorrow. The Citadel, well, actually, as much as they've played some of our teams close, their overall record's actually sitting just at 18-21. But we did mention the two previous teams in the SoCon, Wofford and ETSU, who have really good records. If they've played those teams a couple times, might make sense. So the Citadel, no slouch, but Georgia Southern could get the victory there. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I'm going to have to take the Citadel on this one.
Yeah, and then Lamar and South Alabama could be the game of the night when you look at both teams' overall records. 22-18 for Lamar in the Southland, 24-16 for South Alabama. Marv, you got any thoughts on what we're going to see in that one? You think that's going to be a close one, or you think somebody comes out surprisingly on top in that one?
I'm going to pick South Alabama because I'm a Sunbelt homer, and that's what I'm going to do.
There we go. Artie, any feelings on that? You were the one who took South Alabama over Marshall last week in the pick.
I'm like you said, I'm a homer for the conference, and I'm just going to take them because they're at home. Other teams traveling to them, so I think that gives them a little bit of advantage.
Yeah. Also close in the RPI. USA 79, Lamar 90.
Yeah, they're really close.
Not terribly far apart. Yeah.
That'll be a good game. That's probably the game of the night right there.
Yeah, I would think so. There too. I like it.
It should be not too many teams playing Wednesday. It should be a good crowd and everything for a good TV audience and everything too for that.
Yeah, you would hope so. You'd hope so, especially down there. Again, we'll remind the people that
beautiful weather.
South Alabama up at the top of the standings all the time necessarily. Their history there is good. So if they turn the corner and they get really good all of a sudden, that place is going to be rocking. Ben James talking a little crap to you already. Can't wait to whoop those Bobcats when they come to Jonesboro in May.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in May. I'm just worried about the next 2 weeks, my friend. We'll see. What can't get that far ahead of myself yet.
Got to get
those.
Those
always big games when the Arkansas State and Texas State always play each other tough in every sport pretty much.
Yeah. All right, let's go into the weekend series and see who we decide as our series of the week. Woohoo, fancy graphics. All right. Marv, let's start with you. Looking at this, who's playing who, but also where it's being played. What do you have? As I think it's tough this week, but what do you have as your series of the week for this weekend?
Man, we just talking about – it's hard for me not to talk about what the impact on the standings could be, right? True. So we already talked about App having a chance to – they sweep Georgia Southern. Like they're –
in the driver's seat.
Yeah, they're still going to be tucked possibly behind Southern Miss, but, they're doing well. I think the Texas State Coastal Carolina series is big. Can Texas State rebound, Can they win a series in Conway, right? Can Southern Miss keep it going because South Alabama, they could really affect their rankings. And then Cajuns, Arkansas State. But if I had to pick one, I'm going right in the middle of the screen, Texas State, Coastal.
Oh, nice. All right, so Artie, we're going to go to you next since that's the one that Marv picked. Would you agree, or do you have something else?
No, I absolutely agree. Just because, like I mentioned before here, they're playing in Conway. They just got swept by the number 22 team in the country. going to play the number 9 team. You have to come out of here 2-1. I mean, it's a must for you. And then after that, next weekend is going to be South Alabama. So you have to beat Coastal here to just stay competitive, RPI, everything. But in my opinion, it's the biggest series of the weekend here, and they got to win 2 of these games at least.
Nice. I'll go somewhere different. It's no disrespect, but I'm going number 22, Southern Miss.
I was going to say that'd be my second choice.
Yankee Field, yeah, with South Alabama. Southern Miss winners of 3 straight, as you just mentioned. But South Alabama winners of 2 straight, and they could make it 3 with a victory over a Lamar team like we just talked about on Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays any dynamic in this series, especially on Friday night, as South Alabama will have played a day earlier, where Southern Miss gets that extra day of rest, if you want to call it that. But I don't think it's going to affect the starting pitchers for Friday, obviously. But what does it do to the rest of the team? So that's where I'm going, because just like Marv said, if South Alabama surprises, right now they're 2-3 in the conference. Southern Miss second, South Alabama third. I guess if you're going to call like a tie, I think the tiebreaker that everyone's using right now is just overall record.
Overall wins,
so I don't know if that's really truly what the tiebreaker would be.
It'll go down to head-to-head, right? If it's tied, it's going to go down to head-to-head. If they didn't have a head-to-head, then it's going to go to, I don't know, what is there, like 8 different tiebreaker scenarios?
If it's anything like basketball, it's going to be a freaking mess, and it's going to be real convoluted and hard to figure out.
Yeah. Right now, South Alabama's playing great. They're number 3 overall in batting and 4 in pitching. So they got the bats and they got the arms. So
nice.
That's definitely going to be a good game. They could beat Southern Miss.
Well, there you go. Chad's agreeing with you. He hasn't been high on his boys all season just yet, or he likes to not hear that his team is good in order for them to exceed expectations.
Yeah. No.
So he says South Al takes 2 out of 3 from Southern Miss. I guess he's just not high on his boys right now. Canes are cool. Has got Georgia Southern over terrible. He's just talking trash. Just talking trash.
Hey, you want to put some money on that?
Yeah. I think he might change his mind on that one.
Now that might be a next week's possible sweet pick there. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, especially when you're at home.
You're at home, and this.
Actually,
they're just not competitive right now.
The consideration is, what is the weather going to be in?
In Boone, yeah.
So let's see.
It's a good point.
Oh, App State very well.
Sunny and 72 on Friday, and then you got thunderstorms Saturday and a chance of rain on Sunday. So who knows?
I would say that is another reason, as we kind of turn into that portion of the season where weather becomes seemingly like a bigger factor here. You definitely need to take advantage of any game you get to play, because like what Marv just said, you may have a close game. You're like, we lost Friday, we'll get them tomorrow. What happens if Saturday game gets canceled or Sunday game gets canceled? You need to win every game. So like right now, nothing is acceptable as far as a loss is concerned for anybody. But obviously, with this being our conference weekend series, somebody's got to lose. But again, you got some teams that really, really have to win.
Yeah, they really do.
Stay where they're at. Yeah. Chad saying we haven't played well at Stanky Field in the past, so this is a historical thing that he's leaning on here. We've just been Jekyll and Hyde all season. Yeah, it seems like if there's a lot of lefty pitchers on the other team, Southern Miss struggles in those games for whatever reason. The hitter's not as hot at the plate against Southern or against left-handed pitchers.
The main thing here is, like, of course, you got Southern Miss and Coastal. They're going to make that, and probably App and some other guys. But for the bottom tier, it's just get into the tournament. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's going to be just get to the tournament if you can make some noise in the tournament. But it's
speaking on that,
it stinks not making the tournament.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
That ODU Georgia State series is pretty important, right?
It is for that.
If those teams get swept, you pretty much shot yourself in the foot for the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to win. You got to be consistent. And you got to get 2 1s in these games at least.
Yeah, and you guys are right. That is the 10-11 matchup. So that is literally the cutoff matchup as it were sitting today. And to note, ODU they won't be on a win streak because they're getting hammered by ECU right now.
Yeah.
They were on a 4-game win streak. Georgia State was on I think a 3 or 4 game win streak before they went into Coastal where they dropped 2, but did win that last one. So that's
get Marv's kids to pick those. They picked great last year. I trust them on that pick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe we'll use them this weekend. That's a good.
If you want them to go, I know they would be more than excited to do it.
We'll just have one of them permanently take Seth's spot. I mean, that's just.
They picked great last year when they did it. It was awesome. They were better than me.
Seth should let his baby pick for him, and he might have results. Like put the 2 mascots out. The one that she grabs is the one.
Rattler.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Just like which pacifier she throws, which direction or something. Yeah. Man, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for what we had to talk about. Marv, you got anything you want to just like off the cuff chat about before we get out of here? You know, like the tweet that I accidentally retweeted yesterday, which was not from a reputable source at all, saying Tarleton State was in discussions with the Sun Belt for expansion.
I would say you need to check your sources a little bit better, but
listen, where there's smoke, there's fire, gentlemen. I'm telling you, I love the Sun Belt, but really the only place left to expand are going to be some teams in the Dakotas. That's too far. And I know it's like, Texas is out, but you're already in Arkansas, you're already in Louisiana, and you need to get in this market. And there's honestly the only place where there's teams ready with money and facilities ready to go and that have success. Tarleton is, they're a pretty good FCS team. So,
yeah,
but we'll see what happens. The pickings are getting slim.
Yeah, that's true. Mark, thoughts on expansion at all, or any targets that you would like to see, I guess, since we brought it up?
I mean, we've talked about it in the past. If there's going to be another reshuffling, which is essentially going to create a power whatever, and then someone's going to be like FCS again. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
For me in the Sun Belt, the number one school that I would go after is East Carolina. Geographically, it makes sense. They've got phenomenal facilities, good football, good baseball. That would be the number one school that I would go after because honestly, as good as their facilities are and as much money as they have, they're not going to get shuffled into the upper half of that. They're not going with the rest of them. So it might be a strategic move for them to realign with some more regional stuff as well. The only thing that scares me with the realignment talk, which hopefully this is the last time we do it, but as long as money's involved, it's not, is if you're having to reach for these other teams and your geographical footprint gets bigger and your budgets go down, how much is travel expense?
Yeah, you want to keep it tight, Yeah, and that help too. Like you never know, like you said, in the future, you could have some mergers coming up in conferences. Who knows? Yeah. The MAC and Sun Belt could merge together. They're geographically already. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future coming up here. I really don't understand, like I said, this Pac-12 move, like just financially. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a basketball conference, I guess.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we're not a basketball school. Maybe in baseball will be pretty good. They got Oregon State, and that's really about it. We did have Houston Baptist, but maybe we can do okay with baseball.
To be fair, none of us are really basketball schools.
No, not like the Sun Belt, but this is going to. I mean, this is going to be rough for basketball for them, dude. I mean, come on, Gonzaga, and then isn't San Diego State seriously a pretty good school, right? A Final Four kind of school. Even Fresno State, I think every once in a while. I mean, that's going to be a rough basketball conference for them dudes.
It is going to be cool though. You're going to have a lot of new teams coming to San Marcos. I mean, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, well, yeah,
exciting.
And there'll be some okay destinations. I don't want to go to Fresno, but Colorado Springs is okay. San Diego is okay if you've never been there. Honestly, the other schools are kind of hard to get to. Oregon State, Gonzaga,
Boise.
They're a little. You got to fly and get in a car and drive a couple hours to get out to them. But I'm a Hollywood Marine.
Now,
2000.
now for us laymen's, what does that mean? I don't know what the difference between that.
Hollywood Marine went to San Diego for boot camp, and Paris Island Marine is when he went to Paris Island on the East Coast. On the Mississippi River, they divide. If you're on the west side of the Mississippi River, you usually go to San Diego. East side, you go to Paris Island. Unless
Gotcha.
you make a request like, oh, my dad went to Paris Island, I want to go there. But yeah. So yeah, they call them Hollywood Marines.
That's awesome. I did not. Yeah, when you said I know what Paris Island is, but
it changed in the old days. I think the boot camp has changed a lot since I've been in. The women used to train at Paris Island, all the women Marines, and so like they'd ask us like, "Do you want to go to Paris Island?" Hell no, that's where the girls go. So that was the PI. The real Marines go to PI. There's always that little rivalry.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. One last thing, Canes are cool saying float the river in San Marcos.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, hopefully this year football team will be jumping in for another bowl game, and the baseball team hopefully will jump in for a conference tournament victory. Here, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
definitely. It's hard to get in the thing. Since the school about it, they've kind of cut off a bunch of access. Kind of a little perturbed about that, but it is what it is.
Oh yeah. All right,
knocked it off
well,
area.
We know this isn't the absolute final goodbye, but this might be the last time we see you on video. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We appreciate you stopping by this week to be our guest, both in picks and on the show. So this was an awesome time, man. We salute you for your service. Really appreciate that. It's very cool to interact with you again on video and on the comments every week. And
the show's great. It just keeps getting better. I'm not a huge basketball fan, but the basketball coverage you guys do on your show is fantastic. And the baseball, everything just keeps getting better and better. And you won't get rid of me that easy. So I'll be around.
Good, man. Well, we're going to be Texas State fans through and through, especially when you can go beat up on that new Pac-12 for us. So best of luck moving forward. Yeah, we look forward to the competition up until the last part. Marv, any last words before we get out of here?
Nah, 4 weeks left, man. It's feels like
Do or
it's
die.
Yep.
Yeah, this
All
is
right. Yeah, it is. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.